Hey, come here, big man. Come here. When you get to me,
I'm going to break down what this educator is doing and show you how we could have been more helpful to this kid.
hey, I understand that you're not happy. You didn't like it, did you? You didn't like it?
Okay, already starting off pretty helpful. It seems like someone crossed the boundary of this child, and asking, did you like it, allows the child to reflect on their own boundaries. And it puts the child and the adult on the same page of, hey, someone crossed the boundary and you were not okay with it. And this is an important step because a lot of times us adults assume that the child's boundary is the same as what our adult boundary would be. And that's simply not true. Yeah, I wouldn't be okay with being pushed randomly, but a lot of kids, especially at that age, like it because that's how they interplay. So that first step can be very helpful, just getting on the same page, identifying, hey, you weren't cool with that.
That's okay. It's okay. All right, get it out. And then we're gonna wipe our face.
And what's helpful here is that he allows the child to cry. He lets him have his feelings. He doesn't dismiss his feelings. He doesn't tell him to stop crying. He allows him to have his emotions. Now, what I might do differently here is really make some contact with the child, maybe a hand on the back or two hands on both of their hands. Try to make some eye contact and breathe with this child and help them regulate so that they will be more able to do the next step.
And we're gonna go over there and we're gonna tell him, I don't like it. Because see, when you cry, he still doesn't know that you don't like it. So go tell him I don't like it.
I see another helpful thing that this teacher is doing. Instead of immediately jumping in and setting the boundary himself, he's giving the responsibility to the child to set the boundary. He's communicating to the child that your words have power. Now, if this was a safety concern, we would 100% go in and handle that. Like, for example, if they told us that a friend brought a weapon to school, the response would be, I'll handle it. I got this. The response would not be, tell Sarah that you don't like it when she takes out her weapon and I tell her to put it back in the backpack. That would not be the response. Now, here's where I do things a little differently. Most kids that age struggle to set boundaries in a healthy and effective way. I mean, they've only been talking for like 2 years. So of course that they struggle. They often don't have the skills or the words to set boundaries in a healthy and effective way. So I would practice that with them before I send them off to do it with their classmate. It could sound something like, let's practice before we get to Jeremy. Say, I don't like it when you call me chicken butt. Call me Joshua.
I don't like it when you call me chicken butt. Call me Joshua.
There you go. Yeah, you got this. You got this. All right. Now walk to Jeremy and say it to him. Now, ideally, in the boundary, you want them to communicate what they don't like and how they like to be treated instead to move towards problem solving. Now, if that's too many words for them and all they can say is, I don't like it, I would help them bridge the gap by saying something like, he wants you to call him by his name, or he wants you to ask for a turn. And if the child can't speak at all, I would bridge the gap completely and say something like, see his face? He's saying he wants you to touch him more gently, like this. Now, what do you do if the child sets a reasonable boundary where someone is intruding on his body or his space and the other child still does not listen to him? I'll answer that at the end of this video.
Yeah, but he does not like that you hurt his feelings. He does not like it. Let him know you don't like it. Say, I don't like it. See, you have to let them know you don't like it, okay? It's okay to cry, but make sure you tell them that you don't like it, okay?
If the other child doesn't listen to the boundary when the child says, I don't like it when you call me chicken butt, call me Joshua, then you can respond by putting the focus on the boundary that the child has already set, still reinforcing that their words are powerful. And you might say something like, they said to call them by their name. They want you to call them Joshua. Call them by their name. Call them Joshua. And kudos to this teacher for teaching these skills because these skills are foundational for navigating healthy relationships throughout life. And there's this book that I'm reading right now that I'm not going to tell you the name of it because there's a lot of harmful ideas in it, but it seems to be advocating against assertive communication and advocating for teaching children to repress their emotions and not to speak up. And I tell you, that is a sexual predator's dream. Teaching children assertive communication, like in this video, helps keep children safe. It teaches them practical life skills like asking for a raise or talking to your boss about a problem at work, and it sets them up for healthy relationships. Now, most of us didn't grow up being taught this skill. So when it's time for us to set a boundary, sometimes we go to passivity or aggression or passive aggression instead of using assertive communication. So it's okay if you're not perfect at it. It's going to take some time for us to learn it so that we can teach it to our children. And modeling is a most effective way of teaching. I'm going to let you watch this again without interruptions and tell me what you see. And remember, avoid being a perfectionist. Be an improvementist. The goal isn't to be perfect every day. The goal is to improve a little every day.
Hey, come here, big man. Come here. When you get to me, hey, I understand that you're not happy. You didn't like it, did you? You didn't like it? That's okay. It's okay. All right, get it out. And then we're gonna wipe our face, and we're gonna go over there and we're gonna tell him, I don't like it. Because see, when you cry, he still doesn't know that you don't like it. So go tell him, I don't like it. Yeah, but he does not like that you hurt his feelings. He does not like it. Let him know you don't like it. Say, I don't like it. See, you have to let them know you don't like it, okay? It's okay to cry, but make sure you tell them that you don't like it, okay?